Hello everybody and welcome to Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Before I begin the video, I just want to let you all know that my health bar has been raised back up to full health. The reason for this is because previously my health had been reduced to just 3 bars, and I was not comfortable with continuing with that with my health bar so low. So I decided to replay the entirety of the first part of the trial and the second part up to the point where we left off last time by myself. So my health bar is now raised completely to full health. So that's why you'll see it at full health in a little moment here. So with that said, let's continue. In the previous video, we learned that Dahlia Hawthorne is very much not alive per se, but she's been posing as Iris for this entire trial, at least for today's trial. In the previous trial, it was actually Iris, but for this one, it was actually Dahlia Hawthorne, who was being channeled by a spirit medium. We know it's not Pearl because we saw her at the very beginning of this day's trial, so there's only one person who it could possibly be, and we'll find out today. So let's continue. As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. What a cruel plan. Cruel, cold, and heartless. Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you, there's not a thing you can do to me. Grr. That night, at about 9:30 p.m., I materialized into this world. I quickly pinned my hair up and put on a demon warding hood. Then I picked up the staff that was by my side and left Hazakura Temple. So, it was at least a Nim who channeled her after all. That ridiculous head nun never noticed a thing. She left Maya Fey in the inner temple and wobbled back, clutching her poor back. What did you do then? That kid was easier to handle than I had hoped. I caught up with her in the front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and so then you're saying you stabbed Maya? It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. What does that mean? No clear memory? I don't know. I think I was stabbed. You were stabbed? At the last minute, Maya Fey must have stabbed me. I'm sure of it.
Objection!
That's not like her at all. I wouldn't stab a French fry with a plastic fork. Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness. But before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back. I had hoped it would cast suspicion on her. I can't believe she was thinking of that until the bitter end. That's where my memory temporarily stops. It stops? I don't have any memory of actually killing Maya Fey with my own 2 hands. My very last memory was Maya's terror-filled eyes. When I woke up after that, I was in the sacred cavern, surrounded by darkness. You were in the sacred cavern? The entrance was sealed with one of those trick locks. Somehow I had been trapped in there. How did he wind up there? I wanted to know that myself. Anyway, I was worried. I didn't know whether or not Maya Fey was dead. And I swore I wouldn't return to the underworld until I knew I had killed her myself. For a ghost, you're one tough cookie. I wanted to get out there and make sure she was dead. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out. That trick lock stopped you, huh? I didn't know how to remove it. So then you were saying? You were actually confined against your will inside the sacred cavern? Yes, I wanted to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible. But it wasn't easy. I kept getting interrupted while I was working on it. Interrupted? It was early in the morning, but someone came into the training hall. What? Who? Could it have been Maya? I thought the same thing, but I couldn't see. Why not? If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge. So I made sure to hide myself well in the back of the sacred cavern. That morning, only 2 people could have gone into the training hall. Maya and Pearls. Pearls were there to cover the hanging scrolled engraving. Still, I finally managed to remove the lock. But it was too late. What do you mean by that? The files had already sorted together. The bridge had been fixed and the police had started their investigation, correct? Naturally, I couldn't go out. So instead, I returned to the cavern and put the lock back on myself. I realized I wouldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse as I had hoped. But just then, Lady Luck showed up. Lady Luck? After that big earthquake, she showed up, all by herself. The real Iris? She said she'd come to make sure the secret cavern was alright. Stupid girl. I came out from the secret cavern and got a feel for the situation. And I locked her away in my place. And I finally learned exactly what had happened. It was then I had learned that the plan had actually succeeded. What do you mean by your plan had succeeded? I misunderstood one thing, you see. That night, the one that had summoned me, I had assumed it was Pearl Fey. Well, of course you would have assumed that. It was written in the instructions. But I was wrong. The person that had actually called my spirit back was Misty Fey, the picture book author. What? Well, that's really the only possibility, isn't it? After I lost consciousness in the garden, it was her body that was left lying there. Maya Fey. I wasn't able to kill her with my own hands after all. But even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit. And that is matricide, the sin of killing your own mother. No way! Order in the court. What is the meaning of this? It's true that I was the one who attacked Maya Fey. But even so, the murderer who actually snuffed out Misty Fey's life was none other than your darling little Maya.
Objection!
Ridiculous. That's nonsense. Are you sure about that? Just think about it. There's even evidence that's supporting these facts, isn't there? What? What do you mean? What is the so-called evidence? The fact that Maya Fey has disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it? Huh? The idea that she is still in the secret cavern is just ridiculous. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple. That much is obvious. In that case, there was only one place she could be. Where? I have to spell it out. The bottom of the Eagle River. Where else? Eagle River? Maya Fey killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that? That's why she threw herself into the Eagle River. Most bodies that wind up in there are lost forever. So, what do you have to say now, Feeny? Oof. Huh? Whose phone is that? Oops. Sorry, that's my phone. Wait a minute. That's his theme song. What? That's literally Godot's theme song. Only it's 8-bit, not jazzy. What kind of ringtone is that? Godot here. Okay, thanks. Was it something important? They just finished removing the locks from the sacred cavern. That's great! What about Maya? There was a woman in the cave. Was it Maya Fey? It was the accused, Sister Iris. Huh? Don't look so surprised. I left her in there yesterday. I just finished telling you that. So, what about Maya? Where is she? There was no one else found inside the secret cavern. No, it can't be. I told you, didn't I? She's dead. No. No! It seems that this case has come to an end. A tragic end. Sadly, it appears the killer of Elise Denim, also known as Missy Fey, was her own daughter, Maya Fey. Overcome with guilt for what she had done, Maya Fey jumped into her death into the raging waters of the Eagle River. It can't be. Ha! Trite, have you ever heard this one? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever it means must be the truth, no matter how improbable it may seem. What is that supposed to mean, Prosecutor Godot? According to this witness, Maya Fey threw herself into the Eagle River. However, is that really the truth? Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden. Which means that if Maya had thrown herself into the river, it must have been from the inner temple side, near the bridge. That's right. That's where she jumped from. But that's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there. What? Don't get your panties all twisted up, Trite. Just relax and think through the whole thing again. So it's impossible? Maya couldn't have thrown herself into the Eagle River? Well, Mr. Wright, Miss Hawthorne claims Miss Fay threw herself into the river from the inner temple side. Do you have any evidence that refutes this claim? Hang on a second, I think I know. There are cliffs on this side, which means that she couldn't possibly have done it. She would have hit the cliffs instead of the river. Hang on, I'm going to look this up just in case. I'm going to pause the recording and I'll be right back. Okay. The answer is either this picture or this one. Either one would work. So the cliffs are on this side. She could not have thrown herself into the river without hitting the cliffs. So I'm going to present this one.
Take that!
Is it possible to jump into the Eagle River from the inner temple outside? No one knows that better than this witness. What did you say? 11 years ago, you jumped into the very same river. Just take a look at this overhead map. As you can see, below the cliff on the inner temple side is a big rock shelf. Oh! Ooh! You're right. She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped off from there. In other words, if she had jumped, we should be able to see her body in this photo. Ha! So you finally figured it out. No! Order! You're just playing with me. Maya Fay's body is in the bottom of the Eagle River. There's nowhere else she could possibly be hiding. Miss Hawthorne, have you ever heard this one before? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Yes, just a few minutes ago, Maya Fay wasn't inside the secret cabin. We now know that she didn't throw herself into the Eagle River. Correct. That eliminates all the most likely possibilities. Now, although it seems improbable, there is still one other place she could be. What? What is this one possibility you're talking about? That's obviously a bluff. You are sure a dead body then. Finally, I think the pieces are falling into place. Normally, the living have no way to punish the dead. But I think there's a way to give Dahlia Hawthorne the ultimate punishment. Shall I tell you, Miss Hawthorne? Shall I tell you where Maya is this very instant? Maya Fay is in this very courtroom. There's only one possibility left. Namely, she's right here in this very courtroom. What? Maya Fay is here? You say she's here in my courtroom? Dahlia Hawthorne? I seem to recall that you said. I had misunderstood one thing, you see. So what? But I think there's one more thing you misunderstood. What do you mean? Tell me something. At this very moment, who is challenging Dahlia Hawthorne? Why that's obvious. It's poor Fay, that pathetic little sniveling runt. You're wrong. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it. I've never failed to challenge someone. This is the first time it's happened. Isn't there any explanation why you couldn't channel a spirit? It could happen if someone else was already channeling had the same spirit. Someone called me before Pearl did? Who? Pearl wasn't even tried again on the day after the crime. But she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clearer to you right about now. Am I correct? It wasn't Pearls that channeled you. It was someone who called you before she could. I believe it's Maya Fey herself.
Take that!
This is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Missy Fey is gone. There's only one possibility left. Come on already. I can't stand the tension. Dahlia Hawthorne, the person telling you right now must be Maya Fey. What? How could that be? Remember what this witness, Dahlia Hawthorne, said about the goal? She said that her goal was to kill Maya Fey. Yes, that's right. But if Maya channeled the spirit of someone on that was trying to kill her... Huh. Well, Gramps, what would happen? Could it be? It looks like you finally understand, Your Honor. Well, I don't. What are you going on about? What I'm going on about is the reason Maya channeled you, and there's only one reason. To protect herself from you. To protect herself? From me? Yes. On the night of the crime, we were only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Fey. The path back to Hazakura Temple. Hazakura was closed off, and there was nowhere for her to run. So then the problem became, where would the safest place to hide? Where would be the safest place to hide? What do you mean? That's when she channeled me? All this time, you thought you had been channeled by pearls. That's why it never occurred to you. That Maya's hiding place was you. No, don't say that. You saying that Dahlia Hawthorne, was played for a fool by that little whelp? Maya Fey killed herself. Isn't it obvious?
Objection!
Sorry, but no. It would have been impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. This was the only avenue of escape open to Maya. The only way that Maya could disappear from the inner temple. I don't believe you. A stupid little girl like that who has never been out in the real world. She could never have come up with a plan like that. Who could have given her such a brilliant idea? Well, me, of course. Mia Fey. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. So it's true. It was you. Yes. Ha. There's something else. What are you doing here? That hair. It's pearls, right? Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You had just cornered Maya in the inner temple's garden. And then, in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness. I was stabbed by Maya Fey. Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you. She did? Not terribly surprising, since she was about to be killed. When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help, so she channeled me. She explained in a memo the situation she was in. She asked me what I thought she should do. She did that? I can't believe it. Of course, I didn't have all the details, but one thing was perfectly clear. And that was, I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free. Free? What do you mean? It was a race against time, so I wrote down 2 things that Maya had to do. Channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock herself in the sacred cavern until help arrived. So it was Maya who put the lock on there. Yes, why do you order her to do those 2 things? If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Faye. Pearls? Yes, Pearl didn't properly understand the plan, so all she was trying to do was follow her mother, Morgan Faye's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very badly, to put it mildly. So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Faye to kill Maya at all costs. Yes, it certainly sounds like that was the hint all along. How dare you? I won't forget this. Why not just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a big failure. Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say? What do you mean by another? Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure. What? How dare you? 11 years ago, the fake kidnapping, your very first crime. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but after Terry Falls escaped and went to meet with Dahlia Hawthorne, the truth was exposed. Shut your mouth. That wasn't my fault. It was because of that stupid oaf of a prisoner and that weakling of a policewoman. And then, 1 year later, you tried to kill me. Well, I'm still alive, but you wound up killing someone else. As a result, you were sentenced to death. It's one stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer funny. You! Wipe that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face. And now this. You've messed up again. You let Maya Faye escape, even though she was right there in front of you. Mia Faye! Mia Faye! Mia Faye! Mia Faye! You spinster! I was supposed to kill Maya Faye like I swore I would. And if only you hadn't gotten the spiky-haired jerk the guilty... And if only you had gotten the spiky-haired jerk the guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hanged to death. True. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me. What do you say? Whether you're alive or dead, or somewhere in between, you will never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all eternity. I remember what you said earlier in this trial. You said there was no way we could punish you, because you were already dead. What about it? Then you said, even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on, forever. That's very true, Dahlia. And that's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. For all of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne. A miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win in anything. And for you, there was no escape from that. No hope of freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you has burnt to a crisp. You're wrong. It can't be. How could I lose to the likes of you? It no longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now. Not ready to go. Nick says... Now then, I assume you're the real Iris? Yes, I was just rescued from the sacred cavern. I must say, you and your twin sister are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Godot, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne? If you ask me, Your Honor, it looks like she went back to the hell she came from. It seems that Mrs. Fay wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Fay, as well as the young Pearl Fay, were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan. Yes, Your Honor. The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to tell that spirit again. Your Honor? Yes, what is it? About this whole spirit medium thing. It's almost weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now. Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study up on a crime channeling technique. Hey, isn't that the new year's issue of Occult? I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench, and in all that time, I finally learned this one thing. Each case is different, and takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ. Never thought of it that way. At any rate, it's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Objection!
You're a little too fast with that gavel, Your Honor. What do you mean by that, Mr. Godot? This trial, it isn't over yet. That's what he means. What? Trite. Remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony? Huh? Dahlia's testimony? I caught up with her in the front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and... It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was stabbed. Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone. Yes, that's right. The person that was ultimately killed was the spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. At least to him. No, Misty Faye. But who killed her? We still don't know who did it. This isn't over. Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. You can't let her walk until there is evidence that proves her innocence. No way. But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony. The prosecution is ready to call a final witness. Final witness? This one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Misty Faye. Indeed. Is it really alright, Mr. Prosecutor? Of course it's alright, Madam Attorney. Very well then. Who is this final witness? Ha! Isn't it obvious? There's one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in this case. Someone who saw the murder take place? The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes. You mean Maya? You can't. She can't testify after what she's just been through. We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Maya Faye to the witness stand. Very well. But first, we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Miss Faye to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial. Hey, Trite, I've got something to say to you, so listen up. What is it? I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow manage to just squeak out by without even a faint understanding of the case. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in at the last minute to save you. You've got some nerve. But that's not going to happen this time. This time, you're going to have to do this by yourself. That's enough. This court is now in recess. February 10th, 2:56 p.m. District Court, Defiant Lobby Number 1. I'm truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me. I was missing all day, and we didn't even have a chance to talk. She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places, and Iris was inside the sacred cavern. I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on. Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. There's something more important than that, though. I have to ask you. Why did you help your sister out as much as you did? Huh? If you had tried to get helpers at the secret cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent the entire day locked up in there. My sister? I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by her mother and never got any love from her father either. Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it? Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. If only Dolly had come with me to Hazakura Temple. I always loved her. Dolly was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about a thing. That's why I promised her that I would help her. Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago? Yes. I wanted to be unuseful to her in some way. But, as usual, I I was too cowardly. At the last minute, I ran away. Because of that, Dahlia's stepsister, Valerie, ended up. That was the case that wounded Mia so badly. But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder. Some people? You must mean, yes, two defense attorneys, Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth, Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hit the poison for her. You. That's right. Iris, there's one more thing that I have to ask you. Yes, what is it? On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Dunin, was it really you? Yes, it was me. That night, after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. And around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone. There's a problem. Come to the inner temple right away. I got on the snowmobile and headed for the inner temple. But the path to the inner temple was cut off, right? Exactly. You can't just leave the body here. So you've got to do this exactly as I say. Got it? It was me. I was the one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in the body so she wouldn't bleed too much. The staff the missing Elise always held. I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff. Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hezekiah Temple on the snowmobile. But why? Why did you alter the body? I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to believe anything that would lead back to my Misty Faye. So I just put her in a rope and stabbed her with the shishito. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground. Iris, just tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone. The real killer. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it. I see. Victim staff updated in the court record. Has a sword hidden inside. The actual weapon used to murder the victim. Defendant! Yes? The judge is calling you. He wants you to see you in his chambers. Huh? He wants you to see you? Okay. That should be him, not you. Let me say that again the correct way, what it's supposed to say. The judge is calling you. He wants you to see him in his chambers. He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne. Alright. Well then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to tell you. Oh, okay. Something she wants to tell me? So it's true. I was cooperating with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning. Phoenix. Mia. How is Maya doing? Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. but emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case. I see. You don't mean she's learned who Elise Dunin really was? Yes, I went to Meadowville office to talk with her. I told her everything I knew. But why? Maya is stronger than you think. I knew she could take it. All of it. What do you mean by that? I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. The trial is about to restart. The real killer. Do you know who it is yet? Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still, I think that just may be. I know who it was. That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the inner temple. And the criminal wasn't just there by accident. Which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. And one more thing. The victim was moved to the Hazakura temple side by the pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck on the inner temple side for almost an entire day. Exactly. So the culprit was someone that wasn't in Hazakura temple the following day. That's all as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win, or lose. Okay, I've got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see anyway? And who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me, all by myself. To be continued. Whew, that was about 48 minutes. Well, that does it for this part. Let's see here. I always don't know which one to use here. I'm going to do this one actually. It's the very beginning of the game, and I shouldn't have to do that again. Oh, hang on. I may have to actually redo part 1, because I found some audio issues with the, with the video. So I'm going to do 8. And that'll do it for this video, everyone. The next part will be the final one of both this case and the entire trilogy. Regardless of how long it takes me, I am determined to do it in this video. So with that said, hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, go ahead and hit that like button. And I'll see you next time for the finale of Phoenix Wright's Ace Attorney trilogy. So until then, have a great rest of your day, and take care.